Morning, let us enjoy a deep breath together. Remembering self as love. Breathing deeply. Love created you like itself. Peace created you like itself. Joy created you like itself. Abundance created you like itself. Harmony created you like itself. Grace created you like itself. Perfection created you like itself. And breathe deeply, roundly. Richly. Bring the mind to stillness. Tranquility. Mind like water, like a placid lake, still, serene, zen. Remembering source in all, as all, for all, honoring source, blessing all as an emanation of source. Still the mind. Go deeper, deeper still, past the surface mind, to the kingdom of heaven within. Pure bliss, radiant with truth, where you have no problems. It is within your mind. Find it. Be still and know. Go deeper within the mind. Deeper still with the breath. Relaxing the tummy. Quieting the mind. Feeling the bliss of being. This is Source, in whom we live and breathe and move and have our very existence. Do not simply be a visitor to this part of your mind, the kingdom of heaven within. which is always blissful, full of beauty, joy, and the perfection of God. Do not simply be a visitor here. Live here. Live from the kingdom of heaven within. Breathe. If thoughts come into the mind, allow them to float away like balloons with no engagement. They probably aren't yours anyway. If any thought comes into the mind, simply breathe it out. Completely mastering the mind and the breath and the body temple and the emotional body. And the nervous system, aligning these all with source. Breathe. Now release any and all problems, ailments, disharmonies, guilts, shames, upsets, grudges, grievances, in preparation for A Course in Miracles lesson today. Love holds no grievances. We prepare our mind and the body and the auric field to align completely with Source, to live from the kingdom of heaven within, to breathe deeply and richly, to clear the mind at will, and to drop all grievances. Breathe. As we breathe, we drop all petty insults, all victimizations, all errors we hold against others or that we think they hold against us. All these being blocks to love. Release and clear the energetic body. Breathe and let go, also known as forgive. Give shame for holiness, innocence. Give guilt for holiness. Give lack for abundance. Give confusion for divine order. Mayat. Give recklessness, dis-ease, turmoil, chaos, Crisis 4, peace. Give 4, forgive. Let it all go. Open your hands and allow the angels to carry away all of the energies that no longer serve you so that they may be transmuted into more beneficial energy currents for the universe at large. And breathe. Give 4, forgive, let go, release, relax, and come home to your perfected state of divinity, holiness, grace, power, love, wisdom, strength, success, accomplishment, triumph, and winning. Abundance and winning. Winning in your life, not by competing with others, winning by being creative and bringing forth your true divine potential. Winning. As we open our eyes to engage the third dimension with a consciousness that is rooted in the kingdom of heaven within, we receive and remember that love holds no grievances as we delve into, realize, and fully integrate A Course in Miracles, Lesson 68. We drop our eye gaze down and slowly, ever gentle with self, raise the eyelids slowly, slowly, slowly. Pat your eyes, look up and left, look up and right, look down and left, look down and right, look up and left, look up and right, look down and left, look down and right, look to the left, look to the right, look to the left, look to the right. Eyeballs receiving an opening exercise and morning stretch. Lesson 68. Love holds no grievances. You who were created by love like itself, can hold no grievances and know yourself, capital S self. It is an impossibility to hold grievances and to know self-divinity. To hold a grievance is to forget who you are. If I hold for grievances against anyone, and especially myself, I have forgotten who I am. To hold a grievance is to see yourself as a body. To see ourselves as a body means that we are not seeing ourselves as the light of the world and not fulfilling our function as the savior of the world. To hold a grievance is to let the ego rule your mind. I will not let the ego rule my mind. It's to let the ego rule your mind and to condemn the body to death. Because we think that we are our body, then we would expect death. Perhaps you do not yet fully realize just what holding grievances does to your mind. We don't understand what holding all these petty grievances against people and against ourselves does to our mind. It's damaging. It seems to split you off from your source and make you unlike him. It seems to put us away from God. It makes you believe that he is like what you think you have become. Wow, for no one can conceive of his creator as unlike himself. You see, if we think that someone did something to us, then we think that we are a victim. If we think that we are a victim, then we will make God in our own image rather than being made into the image and likeness of God, which is what we were on all levels when created. When created, you had no doubt of where you came from and who you were. After an intense curriculum on planet Earth in all things human, we began to believe that we are indeed only humans, only a body. We began to hold things against other people, especially against ourselves. We split from our source and we thought we were unlike him. And then because we split off from our source and we thought things of ourselves that were not true, we began to think things of the creator that were not true. The Course shows us the exact pathway of thought. Error thinking. Shut off from yourself, capital S self, which remains aware of its likeness to its creator. See yourself, capital S self, also known as higher self, knows that it is identical to the creator. It is a wave in the ocean. A wave is not a cake, and the ocean is the ocean. A wave is the ocean. Higher self, the true self of all selves, knows that it is one with source. Yourself seems to sleep while the part of your mind that weaves illusions in its sleep appears to be awake. So it appears that when we hold grievances, we think there are other people out there. We think we can be attacked. We think we can attack them. We think they did things to us. We think we are victims. So because we have this error thinking, we are weaving illusions. And the self, the capital S self, does not argue with that. Can all this arise from holding grievances? Oh, yes. In other words, we are making ourselves into absolute, okay, here's the word, Isfet. Isfet is the sister of Ma'at. We know that Ma'at, cosmic force, spoken of in ancient Egypt or Kemet, that Ma'at is a force for order in the cosmos. Sunrise, sunset, balance, the moon cycles. We know that Ma'at is this force, this cosmic force of order. And she has a sister, and her sister is Fet. How you love it? I love your hair. It's pretty. Pretty colors, pretty. I'm at my family's home. And so we know that Ma'at is the order, cosmic order, and Isfet is chaos. So what we are doing here when we hold our grievances is that we are not operating out of Ma'at, we are operating out of Isfet. That is indeed a very dangerous thing, for he who holds grievances denies he was created by love. And we learned yesterday in Course in Miracles lesson 67 that love created me like itself. And his creator has become fearful to him in his dream of hate. You see, this is where all the ideas came from the egoic mind of a fear of being fear God. It says it in the Bible, yet in the Bible, it does not mean to fear in other words of being afraid of. It means be in awe. be in awe of our Creator. The word fear does not belong there. And so because we have believed all these things that are not so, hi, Vic, how are you? Good. Because we've believed all these things that are not so, then we have come to believe that our Creator is someone to be afraid of. Who can dream of hatred and not fear God? It is assured that those who hold grievances will redefine God in their own image. This is what causes us to redefine God as a fearful God, a hateful God, an angry God, an unloving God, a murderous God, because we are holding grievances. As it is certain that God created them like himself and defined them as part of him, as certain as it is that we will start to try to make God into our own image because we ourselves are holding grievances, it is also certain that we have still been created like our source. Love created us like itself, and that never changed. It is assured that those who hold grievances will suffer guilt. This is the key. This is the key. This is the key, family. Guilt, guilt, guilt. As it is certain that those who forgive will find peace. If we carry grievances, we will hold guilt. And as we have heard, that our grievances, they're not simply resting there. They're not simply doing nothing. These grievances are active, causing chaos. And those who forgive will find peace. It is certain that if we forgive, we will find peace. It is certain that as we fulfill our function and be the light of the world and save the world through our forgiveness and bring peace to every mind through our forgiveness, it is certain that not only will we find peace, our happiness will be inevitable. It is as sure that those who hold grievances will forget who they are, as it is certain that those who forgive will remember. It's certain. It is certain that if you hold grievances, you'll forget who you are. You will think that you are the angry child of an angry God. If you forgive, you will remember and be happy. Will you not be willing to relinquish? Here is the word again, relinquish, relinquish. There is something that we have to give up. There is something that we must be willing to let go of. Relinquish your grievances. If you believed all this were so, I would drop all the grievances like a hot potato in a second. Perhaps you do not think you can let your grievances go. That, however, is simply a matter of motivation. You see, we held our grievances because we thought that they were doing us good and we were righting the world and we were saving other people. Now we know that our grievances are bringing chaos into our lives and alienating us from source and causing us to make an angry God making our angry self into an angry God. Today, we would try to find out how you would feel without them. How would you feel without all your grievances? How would you feel if you let all the insults go? How would you feel if you let go of everything that you think that ever happened to you? How would you feel? We're going to find out today. If you succeed even by ever so little, there will never be a problem in motivation ever again. See, the motivation is happiness. The motivation is complete peace of mind. The motivation is perfection and beauty and harmony. The motivation is knowing that we are one with source, all that is. Is that enough motivation? The motivation is to never have another problem ever again. Begin today's extended practice period by searching your mind for those against whom you hold what you regard as major grievances. So we have some people in our lives that we hold against them major grievances. You know, we think they did this, we think they did that, we think they cheated on us, we think they lied to us, we think they betrayed us, they left us, they backstabbed us, they fired us, they were racist, they were hateful, they were fill in the blank. Some of these would be quite easy to find because some of these major grievances are right at the top of our minds because we haven't forgiven all of them yet. Then think of the seeming, so first we're going to think of the major grievances. Just search your mind, because by searching our mind, we'll find them. And then think of the seemingly minor grievances you hold against those you like and even think you love. So we have major grievances against people that we just really don't like. They get on our nerves. Look at your ex-lovers first, ex-mates. We could call them former teaching partners or still current teaching partners. If we have grievances against them, then they're still teaching us beautiful lessons in forgiveness. And then it says for us to seek for the minor grievances for people that you like and think you love. Now, how can we love someone if we're holding grievances against them? That is not possible.
It will quickly become apparent that there is no one against whom you do not cherish grievances of some sort. So, as we continue to look at ourselves, we realize that we have major grievances against some people, minor grievances against others. So, this has left you alone. Want to know where loneliness comes from? Want to know where aloneness comes from? The grievances. Because we've alienated God in everyone. So therefore, we're all alone in all the universe in your perception of yourself. You're all alone because you think you've been hurt, you've been slighted, you've been somebody has discriminated against you, someone has done this to you, that to you. It doesn't really matter the nature of the grievance. Determine now to see all these people as friends, all the ex-lovers, all the abusers, all the people that we have a list. We have a list of all the grievances of all the people and what they've done to us, and we can give the details and the dates. They're etched in our memories and our minds. How about today we determine to see them all as friends? That boss that was horrible to you, that person that fired you. Say to them all, thinking of each one in turn as you do so, I would see you as my friend, that I may remember you are part of me and come to know myself. We cannot know self if we are holding grievances. I would see you as my friend, that I may remember. Remember, put yourself back together. You are part of me and come to know myself. That way you'll stop being alone in the universe. Spend the remainder of the practice period trying to think of yourself as completely at peace with everyone and everything. You see, it's very important that we see ourselves and think of ourselves as completely at peace with everyone and everything. Completely at peace with everyone and everything. Don't hold anything against anyone. Start with yourself. Safe. Tell yourself safe. Tell yourself safe in a world that protects you and loves you. No more will you need this protection thing and that protection thing and this warding thing and that warding thing and that begone thing and that begone thing, because you will have let go of all your grievances. Therefore, you will have let go of all of your guilt. Therefore, you will not be inviting. See, guilt invites self-sabotage. Guilt invites punishment. And then we think that we have something that we have to protect ourselves against because we think that we are in an unsafe world. We're looking around, we're looking behind our shoulders. All of that comes from holding grievances. And so when we drop them, when we let them go, we will be at peace with everyone and everything. We'll be safe in a world that protects you and loves you and that you love in return. You'll love the world and you'll know that you are safe in the world. Try to feel safety surrounding you like a blanket. Just wrap that safety blanket around you, hovering over you and holding you up. It's hovering above you. It's holding you up. It's surrounding you. This is safety, the love of God. Try to believe, however briefly. You see, I come from New York City. In New York City, it was very dangerous. That's what they told us. Oh, be careful. Look behind yourself. Somebody might get you. You don't get mugged. Don't walk down that street in the dark. Don't go there. Don't go there. It embedded in our minds a virus, a disease, a mental disease, that we were not safe. Always look around. Keep your wits about you. Why? Because something could happen to you at any moment from the outside. Now, there's nothing wrong with being wise as you walk in a city, yet, or anywhere. Yet they never told us that the danger was coming from inside my own mind. I was looking outside of me like something was about to jump on me at any moment. No. You live in a safe world. You're safe, and this world protects you, and it loves you, and you love it. Try to feel safety surrounding you. Try to believe, however briefly, that nothing can harm you in any way. Nothing can harm you in any way. You're immortal, invincible, invincible, invulnerable. At the end of the practice period, tell yourself, love holds no grievances. When I let all my grievances go, I will know I am perfectly safe. You see, the grievances and your sense of safety are connected. They are one, they're connected. If you are holding grievances, you will not feel safe. The short practice periods should include a quick application of today's idea in this form. Whenever any thought of grievance arises against anyone, physically present or not, something pops into your mind about your third grade teacher. Something pops into your mind about the bully that was in school. Something pops into your mind about something that was a long ago or recently, some grievance. Somebody did something to you at work. Somebody did something to you here, there, wherever. Whether the person is physically present or not, remind yourself, love holds no grievances. Let me not betray myself. Capital S self. Have a beautiful day, Faith. Going to school. Tell her have a beautiful day, a blessed day. Okay? Have a beautiful day, Faith, okay? And a blessed day at school. Okay, love you. See you later. Okay. Love holds no grievances. Let me not betray myself. Capital S self. Love holds love holds no grievances. Love doesn't have an issue with anyone or anything. However, I myself may have an issue with everyone. The Course just told us that. The Course just said you have an issue with everyone. You have an issue with the people who you hold major grievances against, and you have issues with the people that supposedly you like and think you love. You're holding minor grievances with them. I don't like how they do this. Oh, I wish they would stop doing this. Oh, why don't they stop saying that? Oh, why do they always do that? Basically, the Course is telling us that the ego holds grievances against everyone. And if it's holding grievances against other people, it's holding grievances against self too. Why do I keep doing that? I shouldn't have done that. I messed that up. How come I can't get this right? What's wrong with me? In addition, repeat the idea several times an hour in this form. Yesterday, I was in the airport flying to my destination from Vegas to Miami. And in the airport, in the airplane, love created me like itself. I'm in an inner mantra as much as I could remember. Love created me like itself. Today, love holds no grievances. Love holds no grievances. Love holds no grievances. I would wake to myself. Capital S, I would wake to myself by laying all my grievances aside and wakening in Him, wakening in Source, wakening in infinite intelligence, wakening in the universe. I would lay my arms down. I would be peaceful with all men. I would hold nothing against anyone, especially and including myself. I would lay all my grievances down. We will now have our first practice period together, in which we follow the steps given and rid the mind in real time, as we do every morning, our daily spiritual practice of breath work, meditation, A Course in Miracles, and clearing the mind, aligning with divine mind. This is our lesson for today. 10 minutes, we begin now.
And our chimes have sounded to signal to us that we have completed our first exercise of many today. Practice period. Love holds no grievances. Before we open the floor, if we could have your kind love and tap that share button at the bottom of the video or the clubhouse room and share this with a message that I'm not holding Jack against anybody. I'm not holding Jack, that's what I'm putting in mind, against anybody. And put a nice little emoji or something that grabs attention, and be peaceful. All right, share, subscribe, comment, do the hokey pokey, whatever you have to do to stay connected with us every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. The floor is open. Love holds no grievances. Good morning. Darla, how you loving? Tarika, how you loving? Good morning, family. Good morning, Soul Whisperer. How you loving? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Ashley. How you loving? That's right, Soul Whisperer. Let me not betray myself. Looking at our comments on YouTube at the Valerie Love YouTube channel, the Christian Witches YouTube channel, Valerie Love, Facebook. I think someone has their hand raised in Clubhouse. Kristen. All right. How you loving, Kristen? How you loving?
I'm loving well. I know tears are released, so I'm just gonna let it out and start holding them back. This lesson today showed me that in the practice period, that I haven't truly let go of the grievance against myself. I can say like, oh, self-love, and I forgive myself and all this other stuff. And this is my first time publicly saying this, so I guess that's another thing too. But for forgiving myself for having an abortion, and I can try to reason in my mind that this is why and all of this, and it's like my ego doesn't want to let go of that, and knowing it's like I know, but not truly know, and I guess walking that out, that God doesn't hold grievances, or that God doesn't condemn, so there's nothing to forgive, but yet we still have to do it in order to see God within ourselves. And I can just see that by me pretending, putting a mask on, not truly accepting, talking about it, whatever, that I haven't been able. How can I truly, be in alignment fully with capital S self, with higher self, with God, with source, if I'm still holding on to grievances, no matter how big or small, which that's a third dimensional thing. It's like, I know it, but this lesson's just showing me that I still have a lot of work to do. So that's my share.
Are you ready to let that grievance go completely and fully, since Holy Spirit was so kind and gracious, family? When something comes up in your mind, it means you're ready to let it go. Are you ready, Kristen, to fully let that grievance go, grievance held against self?
Yes.
Okay, here's a story. So many years ago, when I was in my relationship with my second husband, I already had two kids. I had a son and a daughter, as maybe maybe you don't know this part of my life. And I was with a man I've told y'all before who won $17 million in the lottery. He had a son. So when we met in 1996, he had a son and I had a son and a daughter. He had never had a daughter. So I'm telling you all this background part of the story so that you can understand the context in which this drama on planet Earth unfolded. So he wanted to have a daughter, and he would see all these little girls, and I love this man. I still love him to this day. As a matter of fact, he was in my list of grievances that, okay, I would see you as my friend, because your lovers and your former husbands and your former wives and your former lovers are very good places usually to find some grievances. So I went down the rabbit hole with him. And really, we had really deep conversations about having a child, a baby. And we were not married at the time. And I was in my hedonism phase. I was away from the witnesses and Jehovah's Witnesses I had grown up with from age 3 or 4 to age 30. So 26 years over there. So I was free. I was doing what I wanted to do. I was in my hedonism phase, and he and I was hitting it off. It was so good. It was good. We were vibing, two Libras. I mean, we vibing, right? And as we get into the relationship, we were a couple of years into the relationship. The relationship has deep significance, and we knew our partnership. Well, anyway, I said, okay, let's have a kid now. I was already, my two other ones were like 10, 13, somewhere around there. Like, I was going to be home free in a few years. They could already, do everything themselves. I could go out and party if I felt like it because, you didn't have to have babysitters when your children get past a certain age, right? They can watch themselves. So, I would put them in bed, and blah, blah, blah. I could go, me and my girlfriends, we had a place together so we could tag team and stuff like that. So they weren't babies anymore. And my girlfriends were like, you're about to start again and have a baby? I was like, yes, because, I wanted to do it. He wanted to do it. Let's do it. I love babies. I love babies and kids. So I get pregnant, have a miscarriage. I get pregnant again. This time I'm so on pins and needles about possibly having a miscarriage. I'm so on pins and needles because I know that I have fibroids. I know that there's things going on. And I'm so on pins and needles that another miscarriage, because it was so devastating to find out we're pregnant. Yay, we got the little, home test. And then not long after that, miscarriage. And just really devastating. It was like a high and then a low, right? You go way up and you come crashing down. So it was just an emotional juggernaut, what I was dealing with. And so then we kept going, and, we said, you know what, we'll try again. And we didn't put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So eventually got pregnant again. This time, so super scary, so stepping on eggshells, so wanting to do everything right. Carrying guilt for the first one, carrying fear. So is that really any way to incubate a new human onto the planet in fear and guilt? Probably not. That's where I was in the moment. That's where I was. And so we went to 5 months. And I'm telling you, every step of the way, I was like, whew, like first month, nothing happened yet. Whew. Second month, nothing happened yet. Whew. I was living on kind of like relief. I would wake up and got to the 5th month and started bleeding. Terrified. I'm terrified. I go to, I'm like, oh no, was I moving something in the house? Because I had the kids help me move some furniture. Oh my God, this must be it. Spotting. Go to the doctor's office. The baby falls out in the toilet. Devastated. We already had a name for her. Her name was Kara, Kara. Devastated. I cannot tell you the depths of devastation. Crying, balled up in a ball in the bed. Devastated. Time goes by. And because I'm a writer, when I have experiences like that, I write. So I wrote this poem, and it was called Ode to Kara, or it was like a song. That's what it was, a song for Kara. I still have it in an old journal. And I wrote this song for Kara, and it began to heal. Like time heals all wounds. Fast forward, we get pregnant again. Yes, because I say we, because he was so involved in each one of these pregnancies. He was right on the roller coaster with me. So it's not just mom. Well, again, I said to myself, I'm not going to be on pins and needles again. I'm not going to do that. That wasn't fun. Look, either this baby is coming or it's not coming. I had gotten a measure of detachment, because before I was so attached. Now I wasn't all the way detached. I could see that something was changing in my consciousness. And I was not in spiritual practice every day. I was not doing what I do now. I was in my hedonism phase. I was I was a financial advisor at American Express. I was doing my thing. I was living my life. And so month 1, month 2, month 3, okay, it's going good. Month 4, month 5, that dreaded mid part, like any moment, let me just get her to the place where she's viable, that if she came, and I don't know if it was a she or he, and please let this baby be a girl, because, this is all because, he wants to have this beautiful daughter. We want to have this beautiful daughter, this beautiful baby, complete the family. And it was an incredible teaching. It was an incredible teaching for both of us in so many things, in detachment, in the laws of the universe, in allowing, in letting go of control, because both of us big control freaks, right? You cannot control pregnancy. You can't control conception. You can't control birth. Try as you might. Ask all the people who have been into fertility solutions, who cannot have children, or having challenges with having children like I was. Well, we get pregnant the third time. It's going well. I'm eating well. Something in me is telling me to be at peace, which is that part of my mind that is God. Is telling me to be at peace, and that all is well. And I felt good. I felt really good, and the pregnancy kept progressing. I felt good. Finally, we got a heartbeat, and all the lovely aspects. Still kind of afraid to buy a lot of things and really pimp out the whole nursery, because how devastating would it be to have a whole nursery and not a baby? And I do know I've walked through that with others in our community, and I wouldn't know how I would live through that. Yet spirit doesn't give you, source does not allow anything to unfold in your world that you cannot handle. So we're getting ready. She was due April 28th, getting ready. Around April, she was born on a Monday, because her birthday is coming up next month. And so beautiful that we're talking about her, because what a gift she is. She's going to be 21. And on April 2nd, which was a Monday, she was born. Now, on Saturday, I began to have pains. It was March 31st. And I'm like, this baby is not due for like a whole nother month. We're expecting this baby April 28th. So you can imagine we're on high alert. Like, I call the doctor right away. I'm having some pains. He said, it's Braxton Hicks. It's okay. You have pains. It's okay. It's just the uterus doing its thing. It's getting ready. You're good, mama. You're good. And then the mucus plug came out on Saturday. But the water didn't break, but the mucus plug did came out. I called the doctor back. The mucus plug came out. Well, the mucus plug, you don't have to have them. That's just the body preparing. Relax, mom, relax. Because I'm like, There's a part of me that's calm, and yet there's a part of me that is still in catastrophizing. Now, the part that was in catastrophizing and thinking that something bad could happen was not as loud as the calm part. It was still there. Okay. April 1st, I tell her I crossed my legs on April 1st because I was like, I refuse to have a baby on April Fool's Day. April 2nd comes around. Contractions are getting stronger and stronger. I actually still have client meetings with my clients at American Express. I had a client meeting that evening at 7 p.m. And so my sister was my assistant. And so we're in my office and I'm walking around. And at that time I had my home office and she worked with me in the home so I could take care of the kids, chill with this pregnancy, not be rushing back and forth to the office, not be driving every day. Now I tailored my whole life. So here I am at home and we're in the office and I had clients to see that evening. And I'm walking around at like 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and these pains are like, these ain't no false labor pains, and they're coming with a regularity. And I'm like, you know what, Alicia, I told my sister, I'm just going to go to the doctor. I called the doctor. They're like, well, you know what, if you feel better, come in. I said, no, I'm coming in because my intuition was telling me something is happening. Some things, like it felt real. It felt like, pay attention. These was no pains that you just walk through. Well, whatever. I go to the doctor that afternoon. I said, Alicia, I'm gonna run up to the doctor's office. I'll be back in a little bit because he was in the neighborhood, only like 20, 25-minute drive away from my house. I'm gonna go to the doctor and just to let him check everything and see if everything's copacetic. And she was like, okay, no problem. I get to the doctor. His office was right across from the hospital. I get to the doctor, he examined me. He said, well, you're 5 centimeters. Go across to the hospital now. I'll meet you over there. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. What do you mean? Now, I had in my mind April 28th, the end of the month, my baby shower, which I didn't know. I had a surprise baby shower coming up that weekend. I didn't know. They told me this later. I'm sitting in the doctor's office. It is April 2nd. I'm not ready for this baby. I don't even have I had like a few little things. What? And I told the doctor, no. This baby is not due. I didn't know it was a she or a he because we didn't want to know. This baby is not due until I'm telling the doctor when the baby's coming. I'm telling the doctor what he told me. He looked at me and he said, Mother, today's the day. Go to the hospital now. I was like, oh. I picked myself up. And he said, call your people, call your mother, call her dad, call everybody. I called my sister. First I called Dad. The baby's coming. And then I called my mom. Ma, the baby's coming. Then I called my assistant, my sister. Cancel my appointments tonight. The baby's coming. She tells my kids. Alicia and Alicia, my sister, tells my kids, Corey and Sarai, the baby's coming. You know, everybody had the same reaction. Dad is like an hour and a half away. He has to get the bag together. I'm like, get the bag together, get everything together, because you're not going back home, because he was going to stay with me in the hospital the entire time, right? Because we're so dedicated to this little person, so dedicated, so wanted this little person, so happy this little person is coming. Cannot wait to see this little person and be out of the danger zone. Well, a few hours later, she was born. I was like, wow. She was born that night at 8:31 p.m. If I had been on that appointment with my client at 7 p.m., that would have been a problem. I would have had a baby on a financial services appointment. Well, anyway, years go by. I have told my little lady, Veronica, about the experiences of bringing her to this planet, that there was another baby that we lost, and so forth and so on. And I told her those stories. She knows those stories. Years later, this part is going to blow your mind. This is going to blow your mind. Years later, when she's about 16, she gets on Instagram And her Instagram name is something like something Kara something. And I didn't get it at first because this was like a decade or more later. All this is like water under the bridge. I'm not thinking about that anymore. I'm in my different life, different place, all of that. And I said to her one day, because she had read the poem and all of that when she was younger, she knew the whole thing. And when I told it to her, she was just looking at me. She didn't have any response. Later on, years later, I'm telling you, she was like 16, 17. She's got this Instagram handle. It's not the same Instagram handle she has now. She gets this Instagram handle and it has Kara in it. I'm not thinking about Kara, the baby. I'm not thinking about any of that. And one day I said to her, V, because I call her V or Miss V or whatever, Miss V, why do you have Kara? Like I couldn't associate this Kara with anything in my life. This is how much I was in deep forgetfulness. Like that was all such distant past, because I do believe that the joy of having her and holding her and nursing her and having her as a baby wiped out all the sorrow, because God says, I'll give you beauty for your ashes. And it is true. So it just wiped out that, like that whole thing was just wiped out, because the joy of having her was so great and complete. No sadness and sorrow could even fit in with it. It just burst of joy when we saw her. Well, she looked at me and she said, you don't know who Kara is? And I looked at her and I said, tears. This was the same soul. This was the same soul. And she looked at me. She said, you don't know who Kara is? I didn't get it. This soul knew. This soul had been circling me and her father. Souls know who they're coming through. Souls know what they're doing. Souls pick their parents. And their body is not the being. It's not the body. You can kill the body. You cannot destroy the soul. And Christ said, do not be afraid of those who kill the body and cannot destroy the soul. This soul, what is happening when you have a miscarriage? A soul dips in, but the body, something in the body temple, in that body temple of the soul, or something in the body temple of the host is not quite right, and it dips back out again. Energy is always coming into form and out of form. That soul knew exactly who she was and is. She knew it. She was clear. Like, I've been here. This is me all along. I'm so caught in the expression on the third dimension in form of my daughter that I do not realize. If I look on a soul, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. It was right in front of me. This is the same being that's been circling the whole time, dipped in and dipped out. I say all that to say, for all of you who've had abortions, you can't kill a soul. That soul is in existence. That soul already knew that you were not in the place or time or space to let it through. That soul already know. That soul could be older than me. All my kids could be older souls than me. You can't kill a soul. You cannot. So all the pro-lifers and all the pro-choicers, you're both wrong and you're both right. And what I mean by that is, yes, it's a life. And yes, there's a soul coming in. And no, you cannot kill a soul. I hope this relieves because over the years, I have heard from women who carry guilt for having an abortion. Thank you, Kristen, for coming forward today as the salvation of the world, fulfilling your function as the light of the world, forgiving all, including self, and bringing peace to all minds through my forgiveness. Now releasing all of the women who will listen to this, hear this, and be in this conversation for all abortions forever and ever. Amen. What are you hearing?
I'm hearing that it's okay. And it's also something I heard at that time. It's Huh? So when you were sharing that,
There it is right there. There it is right there.
yeah,
There it is right there.
I wasn't ready at that time. But the soul told me, I'll come back to you. Like, okay, I don't know what that means, but okay. Now I can say what that was a soul. At that time, I had no clue what that meant. I just thought I was losing my mind. That was crazy. And it's okay. Same thing it told me. It's okay. Whew. Thank you.
This is why the Course tells us we must let go of our guilt. The universe isn't holding anything against us. No souls are holding anything against us. Nothing is being held over our heads. We are not condemned. We are no need of forgiveness from God, because God never condemned. We must clear our own consciousness. We're holding it against ourselves, right? There's so much love going out for you, Kristen, on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you that this is liberating. I too had 2 miscarriages. Thank you, Christian. Whoa, Valerie, that was profound. Wendy, profound. I was gobsmacked when she told me that. She looked at me like, you don't know? She was like looking at me like, you don't know who I am, do you? I'm still amazed. Love you, Christian, and thank you. So much love going out now for all of our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sisters who've either had a miscarriage, had an abortion, had infertility issues, any of it. Trust me, the souls, they're coming to you, whether you birth them or not. The souls are coming to you. How many beautiful souls can you count as children, even though they may not have come from your womb? Let us clear ourselves and be at peace. Let us clear ourselves and be at peace. Congratulations, Kristen. How do you feel now?
I feel free. I feel like a big pressure has been lifted off of me. Yeah, that's all I can say. I don't want to hold up the clubhouse. Thank you. Thank you.
Ashe. And everyone coming to stage, whenever you say, oh, I don't want to hold up everybody for me, this is what the Course tells us, that you are everyone and everyone is you. So family, if we understand and remember how spiritual community works, what's in the seat is in the chair. What's in the seat is in the room. So whatever one person is experiencing, all of us are experiencing or can learn from or can gain from, if we're looking at self while we're in the experience and we're not looking at someone else. So where in my life am I thinking that I aborted something and I'm feeling sorrow, or whatever you saw, you experienced in a scan of yourself as you're listening to Kristen? That's how you become a master. This isn't about Kristen. This is about everyone present in the experience together. We're doing this together. The most powerful way to do it. And of course, Miracles calls all of you, all of us, mighty companions. Isn't that a beautiful thing to call us? It calls us mighty companions, that we are mighty companions for each other on this path. Mighty companions. A mighty companion lifts you up with a word that says, you know what? I had an experience, not the same experience you did, because you're you and I'm me, and I understand that. And I respect it. And I can't say I know how you feel, because in actuality, I really don't know how you feel. You do. Here's what I found. I was in an experience and I was experiencing pain, and here's what I found. And here's what I learned, and here's what happened to me. And I don't know if this share is going to have anything to do to help you in your life, and somehow I was inspired to share it. And I bid you well, and I'm being at peace with all men and all women and all babies and all children and all abortions. I'm at peace, and I'm letting all the grievances go. I'm letting all grievances go for all abortions, all womb issues, all abortions. I know
someone is listening now who had an abortion, and then it inhibited somehow their ability to have children, or you believe that it inhibited your ability to have children, and that is not so. You can still have children. The fertility is still there. And look beyond the children that you personally are birthing. Look to the children in your life who see you as a parent. I got to tell you something about Africa, family. When I was in Kenya, it was something very, very, very fascinating that you become aware of as soon as you come to Africa. And I don't want to say Africa like it's one big place, because it's not. It's many countries. When I was in Kenya, there was not the sense that this is my children, or this is my child, or that's my child. There's not that sense. And Africa is true, it takes a village. And Africa, I've been in African villages. I've been in an African village. And in an African village, you don't know who's parent to who, because everybody's auntie. All your African friends, when you meet their kids, they say auntie. They don't say, this is Valerie, this is Miss Valerie. They say, hey, say hi to auntie. This is your auntie. No. Go tell auntie such. They call you auntie, right? All my Nigerian friends, they're kids. I have this good friend, Margaret. Margaret is an attorney, or this or that or another, because African people, Nigerian people, they're not going to have one degree. They're going to be a doctor and a lawyer and an accountant. And okay, don't play with Nigerian people. Well, my Nigerian Margaret, all grown up, all her daughters, or both her kids, auntie. So it's not, right? It's not, these are my kids. That's not in the consciousness, because it's not the right way of seeing. These are my kids. These are kids the kids of the divine. They're children of the divine, children of the universe. And I was so protective of that little baby. And she was 5 pounds and 3 ounces, 5 pounds, 4 ounces when she was born. And she was, and the first thing I was like, is her lungs going to be okay? Because the lungs are like the last thing to develop, because I was reading like every inch of every book. Like, let me just get her to this point so she, the baby could be viable. I was reading every inch of every pregnancy book. Like, the baby got toenails today. Dad was like, okay, yay. He was looking at me like, this woman is nuts, That's how on it I was. And then when she was born, I just had her everywhere. I was like clutching her, like, oh, right? Nursing her, all of that. And you begin to realize these are not your children. These are children of the universe. These are souls coming through you. They are not of you. I did not create my children. They came through me. And so being in the African realm, and I don't know if this could be in other cultures too. It could be in Ireland and Scotland. It could be in Asian. It could be in many cultures. I'm speaking to you about what I know about the African culture, right? And from the diaspora, or however you want to say it. So there was a friend of mine named Valerie. And Valerie went to, was it Ghana? I don't remember what country she was in. I was in Kenya. She was in Ghana, I think it was. And she was on the bus because, oh my goodness, I like doing things that regular people do. Pardon me, when we go to these places. So I actually rode the bus. Do we ride the bus in Kenya? We rode something that was like a jitney kind of thing. And I'm doing that because some of the roads, you just sort of all over the place. However, Nairobi, it's absolutely magnificent. Nairobi, Kenya is an absolute beautiful city with the best of both worlds. It has nature and it has forward tech, all of that. Well, anyway, and luxury accommodations, all of that. And it has Masai Mara, which is the Serengeti of I think it's the northwestern part of the Serengeti where we went on safari. Well, when Valerie went to Africa, I think she was in Ghana, she was on a bus. And there was this woman getting on the bus that had a baby in hand, like in tow. And a lot of the African women have their babies tied on them. And I had a nanny for Veronica. and her name was Fati. And Fati was from Ghana. And Fati had 6 children, 2 sets of twins. Of the 6 children, she had 2 sets of twins. I was like, Fati, how do you have 2 sets of twins? Well, anyway, Fati used to often take a bed sheet and she would just wrap Veronica around her, and she would be, doing everything she would do in the house. And Veronica would just be like, shoo, and she would put her on her back a lot of times. And the way she did it, she would just take the sheet and be like, shoo, 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 shoo. Like the first time Fati came and I'm holding the baby all, you know how American mothers do, right? We're just cradling the baby, can't do nothing, put the baby down. Then, I couldn't do anything because the baby kept crying all day. African women said no African woman ever. Fati said to me, Miss Valerie, give me a bed sheet. I said, a what? A bed sheet, a sheet. Yes. She was looking at me like, did I stutter, girl? Go get me a sheet, a bed sheet. I was like, okay. I bring Fati a bed sheet. And Fati opened the bed sheet, it was all folded up. I'm like, we stand in the kitchen. What we doing with a bed sheet? She unfolded the bed. She said, give me the baby. Give the baby to me. I was like, after the miscarriages, after this early delivery, after this baby is like 3 months old, I'm nursing this baby. I'm watching this baby like a hog. I mean, this baby is like everything. If I give you this baby, I'm telling you, if something happened, someone's going to die in this kitchen and not going to be me. I was insane over this baby, okay? And so I'm holding the baby and I give the baby to Fati. Fati takes the baby, bends down, flipped the baby on her back. I was like, Fati. Ooh. I was holding my womb because it was still like raw. I was like, Fati, I will fight you in this kitchen if something happened to that baby. I promise you, Fati, I'm going to take you out. I was being talking about, I'm going to take out. Do you see how nutty I am? I'm going to take out the nanny. Fati bent over, she put the baby on her back, she wrapped the she tucked it here, tucked it there. Okay, now I am ready. I was like, wait a minute, run that past me again. She turned around, Veronica was on her back like this. She was head perfectly positioned. She was like this, just like sleep, just knocked out. I was like, I think I missed something. I think I just missed something. And that's when I was introduced to the notion that American children are very badly delayed, because all around the world for the first 2 years of your life, you pretty much are carried by your mother, either on the hip or on the chest or here. And therefore the children speak faster and they're in a better conversationalist because they're in the conversations. We have our children low, like in a stroller, not up here where the conversation is going. And when the babies are up here on your chest or right here, their head is right here in the back, and you're leaning in and you're talking in the market and you're speaking to people, the baby is in the conversation. So the baby is picking up things much faster than if you just have the baby laying down somewhere down there in a stroller and you're doing all this above the baby's head. And I learned that around the world, most babies are carried by their mothers for the first 2 years of their lives, tied on, right? Somehow. Later in America, we kind of caught on. So anyway, here was Valerie, and she was on a bus. And the mother is getting on, she has the baby, she has groceries, and she has like 2 other kids. Literally, Valerie's sitting on the bus just like this, just sitting there. The mother gets on, she looks around and she sees Valerie. Valerie was the first empty lap that she saw. She puts her baby on Valerie's lap. She don't say, hey, how are you? Can you hold my baby? She came on the bus, she looked for a woman. And the first empty lap, she puts the baby on the mother's lap, on Valerie's lap. Valerie's like, she hold the baby, play with the baby. Baby was like, there's no separation anxiety. Like, well, you're not my mother, I'm afraid of you. Like, that's all contrived. The lady brings on the luggage, her groceries. She brings on her other 2 kids. And then she finds a seat and sits down. She still doesn't come get the baby from Valerie. Valerie's holding the baby, playing with the baby. The baby's cute. The baby is just being the baby. The mother is sitting over there with the other two kids in the groceries, and she's riding the bus. When the mother came, she took the kids off. She goes, greets Valerie. She gets the baby from Valerie, and she leaves. Valerie said, never in a billion years would that have ever happened in America or in a lot of places in the Western world. You see, it's inbred in us, in the African tradition, that it is a family, that it is a village, that no one owns anyone, that we are doing this together. We're doing this together. I'm not possessive of my kids. And, my mama, she didn't play. You can't go to their house. They got roaches. Nah, they not clean. They dirty. No, she ain't like that. And she was a witness that just made it worse. So really no one could we pretty much hang out with. Even some people that were witnesses were still suspect in her eyes because they were not strong in the truth or whatever. These notions do not exist when it comes to babies and children. Your babies are not yours. They're not yours. These are children of the universe. Every day we hear the Course refer to us as the Son of God, the children of God, the children of the universe. We are all the children of the universe. No one owns anyone. You don't own your children. Okay? Yes, Soul Whisperer, your children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of life longing for itself. Khalil Gibran. Princess, how you loving? Kristen, anything else you wanted to share with us?
I just thank you for sharing that story. I'm receiving a lot of confirmations and synchronicities. So yeah, just thank you, and I feel better. I feel lighter. I'm releasing all grievances, no matter quote unquote how petty or large. I'm releasing them all so I can be free and live my function. So with that, I am complete for now.
Kristen, I cannot tell you how much your money world will open, your relationship with PJ will deepen, how your global travel will blossom from this seed of absolute forgiveness. Having never spoken this before, I do not in any way underestimate or undermine or have in my consciousness the knowing that this is a monumental step, as the Course teaches us, that you have made a great stride, a monumental step in your freedom. And you could call this day, March 8th, March 9th, whatever it is, 2022, you could call this day the first day of the rest of your life, and that your life took a trajectory change because of your courage and your boldness and what you decided to release today for yourself and for everyone around the world. I honor you with a namaste.
Namaste, namaskar.
Mm-hmm. Bush woman and also had a miscarriage at 5 months. Devastating. Aren't these things devastating? And yet, God said, the blessing of the Lord maketh rich, and he had no pain with it. He had no sorrow with it. It also says that I will give you beauty for your ashes. It also says that we can experience complete joy, bliss, happiness, and beauty in the kingdom of heaven within the part of my mind that knows the truth, that nothing can be killed, that energy is everlasting. Energy cannot be destroyed. Princess, how you loving?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh my goodness. My soul flowing and joy, Florida. Finally made it home yesterday. Yes. That's amazing. I want to acknowledge Christian and thank you for sharing your story. Actually, I have a similar experience, and I had a abortion before and later I had a miscarriage also. And my journey, I realized it was a long journey, and I do realize a soul can come to our outer world actually so many different ways. It was, as early years, of course, in China, probably most people know. If we're not married, we definitely cannot have a baby. That's a huge big thing. So
in China, they only let you have one child.
Yeah, that's true too. Yes, yeah. But related to me, I was so young. We wouldn't marry, so definitely can't. That's a big deal for a family to, your children had a baby and had to marry. So, a fast forward to now, and I learned, spiritual journey, and then I learned soul can come to our world so many different ways. I want to share one story actually. Probably 10 years ago, I have a client. She had a miscarriage. She was in 40s. She, in the United States, it kind of felt like a late for women to first pregnancy, right? And the first baby is kind of late. So she had a miscarriage, and 2 months later, and she came to the gym to come to me, and she said, I really not in good shape and out of shape, and just had a miscarriage. And what I want to do is I want to pregnant again, but at the same time, I realize I need to be get my body ready for next pregnancy. So I said, okay. Long story short, we start training, and she's so into. She will change so fast. 2 months, she felt like, oh my God, I want to compete like you. She's so into it. And one day she came to me. Oh my God, I have a good news. I'm pregnant. Oh my goodness, really? You're pregnant? I'm so happy for her too. And at the same time, we never stopped training, right? We were still training. I was encouraging her. I said, you don't have to really stop training to keep your body ready. And right now we change different plan, right, for women pregnancy. And so long story short, and she's still, carry the sorrow, she needs the carriage, needs the baby, lost the baby. And during the training, we always, I always encourage her. I said, you never know. As a soul can come back. I said, you never know. She said, okay. So later, you know what she told me? And one day she came here and she said, we went to the doctor, we did it. Actually, I had twins. That's twins. Yes.
So she goes and she has twins.
Yes, she was telling me. She said, she always said that they don't know the first baby lost as a girl or boy. And I said, just to keep it positive. I said, you never know. You might have a boy and girl. It will come back to you. So, I was more encouraged, right? At that time, actually, I wasn't really exactly sure, that's how that worked. But I was just positive, right? I'm holding the space for her. And they don't want to, later, actually, long story short. So she had a one girl, one boy. It can be better. Then she would always say, yes, I do believe, And she said, we never expecting to have twins. And only, for this age, one baby, that's enough. 41, I have a twins.
Wow, that's beautiful.
She's so happy. And a few months later, I had another client. She had a miscarriage. She's young age, like late 20s. She had a miscarriage so many times. She come to me, and she said, I want to, we want to have a baby. We've tried so many times. They said, we're going to try one more time. And I want to get my body ready and to approach kind of a little different and get my body ready. I want to be more fit for pregnancy. So long story short, in the first few months, right? She finally she pregnant. In the first few months, they were in a normal routine, and at the time, and they moved to New York, and so sometimes she come back and still contact me and tell me I would just follow her, right? How's the pregnancy? It's wonderful, wonderful. Guess what?
Share twins.
3 months later, they sent me a picture. My mind was fluid. She sent me a picture, okay? She always said that she, at the time, first, they don't know it's a boy or girl. They don't know. And they said that they don't want to know. I said they want to find out later because so happy, right? They tried 5-6 years. They were young.
Wow.
And they sent me a picture. Red and love.
Twins.
I just can't believe it. The picture is her and her husband holding 2 babies.
Oh, double the joy, double the joy.
They hold the 2 babies.
Wow.
They were 2 babies. I said, what happened?
Yes.
The soul if a soul want to come to our life, we are not in control. And I want to share with the family. I share with a lot of people, actually. At the time, I was like, okay, I always think that I have a twin sister somewhere.
Oh.
I always feel that way for some reason. And I don't know what it is. I feel like the proof again, I met my twin sister in 222.
Really? Who was it?
Derica.
Oh my goodness. It's very fascinating about Derica. Mute for one quick second, Princess, because we're getting a little bit of feedback through 2 open mics. Do you know Harmony has such a connection with Derica? Derica and I believe you and Harmony share the exact same galactic signature, yellow self-existing sun. Is that accurate, Derica, if you're here in the chat, in the room, or on YouTube? And Harmony said immediately she felt this kindred, this kinship, like a kindred spirit. And you as well, Princess, you and Derica, kindred spirits.
I at first, I can tell you, right, very loud, we were known so many years. I can tell you is that I'm, in the ablation, whatever. And at the 222, when I first saw her, right, something did to something. So we're not even the same table. So she sat behind me. I keep a look at, when we do in the class and we would turn around, the speaker in the different position, we would turn around, right? We always turning. So every time I was like, I was look at her and she looked at me too. She was like, I was like, do something to my heart. I was like, my heart chakra opened last year. I met my twin flame. So they opened. I can't feel that feel. I never feel that way with anybody else. That's when I saw Derica. I feel that way. And guess what? And later when during the event, we need a hug, right? We hug or whatever, So I was like, when I see her, I was like, I didn't hug her at first. I was looking at her. I was like, with both kind of silly, smiling to each other. Kind of, I'm shaking. I told her, I said, oh, I don't know. I feel I know you. She was like, she said, oh my God, I'm glad you said that. I feel the same way. We were hugging each other. We didn't say anything. We just started crying. We just start crying. We're hugging and crying, holding. Oh my God. I didn't feel like I said that we're sisters. And she said, yes, I know, we're sister, really, literally. She's a chocolate, dark, beautiful skin. I'm the Asian peel, I'm now on the street. way will hack somebody say we're twins. I said, no, I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
222. Oh my God. So later she will post the picture, right? I'm going to bring the picture to the group. She will post the picture. I'm telling you, I realized, I said, man, she is my, yep, we're twins. Because the picture, I saw so many people, the picture, they say, yes, I agree. Look at y'all. I said, just imagine, turn to the same color, all dark, all white. You know, you look at it, it's twins. Yeah. And later, actually, I talked to Sweetness to tell me she had the same connection with her. I said, we're triplet.
Well, you know, Derica is a connector and a very I don't want to say this if she's not here. Derica, let us know you're here. A very, very ascended soul of the goddess, uh, Derica. So a lot of people will gravitate to her aura, to her being, because her being is really an ethereal representation of the goddess. So there is something very deep spiritually beyond this dimension going on with Derica that is could be the reason. I would offer it's the reason why so many people are absolutely drawn to her. The aura is incredible. None of this we would have picked up from a little icon on Clubhouse or a comment on YouTube. None of this are people picking up from an icon anywhere on any social media platform. So thank you, Princess. Princess, we're going to wrap up after Journey. Is there more, or is that what your share was regarding?
This part is one. Another thing, I have a confession.
Okay.
I have a confession part yesterday. I was fall asleep during the meditation at first.
Yeah, that happens.
Asleep. I didn't even realize. And then when I wake up, and it's so quiet. I thought we were still meditating. So my phone, Clubhouse kicked me out. Long story short, I was by the way when we were talking, like Princess, you said you make the consequences or anything? I said, I was there, I didn't share, and maybe so I'm gonna keep a battle it. But right now, actually, I feel like it is a consequences. Think about battery level. Think about all the leaders. It's no excuses. Whatever reason you didn't keep your promises. So I am go out to get dog food because I didn't keep my promise, whatever reason.
But wait a minute, which promise was this? Which commitment was this?
Oh, I said I will be on the Clubhouse the rest of the year.
Oh, wow. But you were there though, correct? And you fell asleep. You got on and you were there. And then after you fell asleep, then you got disconnected.
Oh, yeah, I did. But
Yeah.
I didn't connect with the Clubhouse. I wasn't on there. I was still through the YouTube texting. Oh, you saw the text? Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I fall asleep.
I think for that one there is grace because you did get on originally. Did you get up and get on originally?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got up, you got on, and family, this does happen sometimes. Sometimes you may be deep into meditation and you can fall asleep. It's the body temple. Maybe you are having sort of a soul surgery by the angels, and angels, when they operate on people and they do soul surgery, they put you into sleep, a lot of deep sleep. And sometimes deep sleep is where you process the things that we're going through. So I wouldn't quite say that was a dishonored commitment. I would say this is how I would treat it. I would treat it as, okay, a learning. I got up, I got on, as I said I would. Is this the experience I desire to have? Perhaps I need to sit in my meditation chair, not lay in the bed. Perhaps I need to change. This is an invitation for me to change. So I wouldn't call it a dishonored commitment. I would apply grace to myself and say, okay, how can I up-level this experience and do it differently? Because a dishonor commitment means you just didn't do it. You did it, and yet you had an outcome that was not the outcome you wanted. These are different things. Does that make sense? Like, I wouldn't go for the dog food quite yet. Give yourself a royal pardon. You can give yourself a pardon because you did do it. Now, what did you learn? Did you learn, okay, I need to be in my meditation chair, or perhaps I need to stand, or what's the learning from it?
The learning, right now I'm sitting. I am sitting down from my big window right now. After the meditation, actually, I was, right now it's just sitting here. When we do this first meditation, right, the first practice 10 minutes, I sit it down. So I'm now laying down. I said, okay, from now on, I did go through deep thinking, a lot of things that I need to change the position and I need to sit down. And I thought a part of the reason could be after 7 days of sleep in the car floating in Florida, I realized I really miss my bed.
Of course. And we have to honor the body temple and the rest that the body temple requires as well. Yeah. Right. So you're good, princess. You're good. Grace. You get grace today. You get grace. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Today I practice. I said, we cannot hold any grievance, right? And I was focused to forgive myself. Every single person, circumstance, I start with actually forgiving myself. I've been start doing that yesterday. So that's a big lesson and a big connection today too. So forgive myself every circumstance at the beginning. Thank you. I'm complete.
Excellent. And Darika is in the chat on YouTube, and Darika said, Rev, I have so many things to say about everyone I met. 222 felt like the first day for the rest of my life. I've been so humbled by this community and experience. Rev, I can't thank you enough. Sweetness, Princess, Harmony, Chandra, David truly felt like a twin I encountered. Rev, I still can't express in words how grateful I am to everyone. What a beautiful share. That is why we come together. We come together to be in the holy presence of the Lord itself, the goddess herself. This is why we come together, because I see God in you, and I see God as you, and I see God as you. It is the many faces of the goddess, of God, that we are seeing. We are beholding our own divinity and holiness in the other. We need that. Don't ever think virtual will give you that. It won't give you that. Don't think it. Come to the Christian Witches Convention. I don't care if it costs money. I don't care if it costs airline tickets. I don't care if it's an investment to stay in a hotel. I don't care if it's an investment to leave your family or bring your family or be inconvenienced. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. People used to go to Jerusalem every year on foot. They walked. Jesus walked. He didn't have a car. He didn't have roller skates. He didn't have a bus. I don't know if the wheel was invented. I don't know. I don't know when the wheel came onto the scene. He walked everywhere. He walked. Maybe it took 3 days. He walked. You have planes, you have cars, you have buses, you have trains, you have conveyances that can get you places in a matter of hours that would have taken our ancestors days. Harriet Tubman walked with the slaves. The Black Moses walked with, I'm calling them slaves, thank you, Spirit, they're not slaves, walked with the people who had a free mind, and therefore their body had to match up with their free mind. They walked hundreds of miles, and you can't even get on a plane and go someplace. It's amazing. I don't know what we have become. They walked hundreds of miles from Maryland to Pennsylvania. They walked, but we can't get on a plane. I'm not understanding what's going on with us. Journey, wrap us up. How you loving?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Kristen, Sister Kristen. First, let me say
I want to send you love and thank you for opening up an encouraging space for me this morning. You've given me the confidence to speak of things I have never said to anyone before. But I hear Spirit saying today is your day. You need to let go. 12 years old, I met a young boy. We ran around the world. At age 16, he decided he was ready. And even though I wasn't, I decided that if I didn't go along with having sex, he would have it with someone else and I would lose him. So I did. My first sexual experience, I got pregnant. And being raised in the church, the shame was immeasurable. I had already decided within myself that this child was not supposed to be here because of the way it was conceived. So I went to my parents thinking that because they were so religious, they were going to assure me that everything was going to be okay. This life was going to make it here. We were going to be your support. The church is here for you. That's not what I received. I received guilt, shame, embarrassment, rejection, ending in you're going to have an abortion. It's not questionable. So I was taken, I laid down, and I allowed it to happen to me. And I realized more shame came from the fact that I didn't speak up for myself and didn't plan for myself. For what I knew inside was telling me this is the wrong thing to do. I have held on to that pain for an entire lifetime, it seems. Although I told myself I've let it go, I realized hearing Kristen today,
Journey, you're muted. And everyone, we hold space within for the deep healing that takes place here in the mornings, for the deep release that takes place in this sacred space. Deep healing and deep release. Breathe. And everyone, we pour forth love and appreciation for the angelic presences who are here to lift us and transform us on deeper levels than we can imagine. Great movement is happening in our consciousness when we say yes. It's a release. So we pour forth love and appreciation, blessings and honor to our God.
who frees us of every shackle we have placed upon ourselves. We're free. All praise to our God. All praise to our God, who releases us from every shackle we have taken and carried, who has released us from bearing heavy crosses. Put them down. We get to lay them down. Lighten the burden. My yoke is light. We get to throw down the heavy yoke, the heavy burdens we have been carrying on our backs for decades, even lifetimes. Lay down your load. Lay it down. You don't need it anymore. Let it go. Let it all go. Love holds no grievances. Love holds no memories of hurts. Love holds no wounds. Love holds no condemnation. Love holds no guilt and no shame. Love holds no embarrassment. We let it all go. We feel a powerful release in this atmosphere. We feel the move of spirit here, freeing minds, unshackling souls, unburdening. It's in the atmosphere. Journey, do you desire to share further? Kristen, Princess, do you all hear me? I don't know, we may have lost Clubhouse. I do know sometimes the energy is just too much for some of these things. We're going to conclude with a simple mantra. I am that I am. Peace be unto you.